Hi and welcome. I'm Kate Oliver. I'm a chartered psychologist and coach and mental health first aider, and I'm here today as a volunteer for Mind to share with you a couple of techniques that I think will be helpful for you in developing some practices around mindfulness that will help you to find some moments of stillness and calm and reduce some of the feelings of anxiety, overwhelm, worry, and general turbulence that you may well be facing through this time of the pandemic. Now, as key workers and council staff, I know that many of you have found your lives hugely disrupted and are massively stepping up to keep the borough running. And for that, I really want to give my personal thanks on behalf of myself and my family and those that I love who live here too. Now, regardless of the role that you're now playing, and I know that some of you that's a brand new role, for others of you that will involve extra hours, putting yourself at personal risk on the front line, and going out of your way to keep things running, as well as for many of you juggling family commitments and other personal requirements that you've got to deal with. When all around us is busy and turbulent, it becomes ever more important to find a small amount of time to help to calm yourself. Now, just to give you a little bit of psychology, which I know some of you will be aware of, as human beings, we like predictability and we like certainty. And when we feel unsafe, it tends to trigger a stress reaction in our body. For some of us, that puts us into fight mode and we get quite argumentative and very busy and very frantic. For others of us, we go into flight mode. We may find we just want to sort of hide under the covers and pretend everything isn't happening. And others of us freeze, and you might find yourself ruminating obsessively on thoughts. The techniques that I'm going to share with you today will hopefully help you regardless of which of those responses are triggered within you. Now, the first technique is called calming breath, and it's an absolutely brilliant technique that literally biologically calms you down and moves you away from that stress and fight and flight response into what we call the rest and digest response. You don't need any equipment to do it, you don't need any money to do it, you don't need loads of time to do it. If you've just got 1 or 2 minutes to take to do this, you will find that it makes a really remarkable difference to how you're feeling and your overall state of health and well-being. So all you need to do is to start to focus on your breath. And as you do this, not to do anything that feels unnatural or uncomfortable to you. So if that does happen at any point, just relax and allow yourself to move back to your normal breathing. But as we do this exercise, when you do breathe in, try to do it softly and slowly and gently, and breathe perhaps down a little bit deeper than you might be doing, because as you'll be aware, when we get stressed, our breathing tends to focus up here. And so if you can relax and allow yourself to breathe a little bit more deeply, that will help with the process. And then all you're going to do is to breathe slowly and softly and gently in for a count of 2, hold for a count of 2, and breathe out for a count of 4. And then in for a count of 2, hold for a count of 2, and out for a count of 4. And in for a count of 2, and hold for a count of 2, and out for a count of 4. Now, when you're using this technique, I'm hoping that you might have found that just through 3 rounds of that, you're already feeling different. If you can find the time to do this for 2 minutes, biologically we know that that is the point at which it will really kick in, the rest and digest response. So my suggestion would be, if you are feeling a little bit anxious and stressed and overwhelmed with what's going on at the moment, perhaps when you first wake up in the morning, just find yourself a couple of minutes to sit quietly and do this technique. At points where you get a break during the day, perhaps between calls or between meetings, and then also just before you go to bed, and that will help you to sleep. Of course, at various points in the day, if you do notice yourself starting to feel a little bit more het up and fretful and anxious, you can use the technique. And if you haven't got 2 full minutes, don't worry. Just 3 or 4 rounds of doing it, which you can do even if you're with other people in a meeting without them even really seeing, will really make a difference. And what I want to do secondly is to guide you through a short guided mindfulness exercise. And when we talk about mindfulness, what we're really talking about is allowing yourself to come into the present moment without any judgment of the emotions or the thoughts that arise, so no attachment to those. So just allowing yourself to be still and be present. So the exercise that I'm going to guide you through now will just take a few minutes. It's ideal if you can find yourself a little bit of uninterrupted time as I do this. So you might want to find the time to shut yourself away behind a closed door and to switch your phone off so you won't get interrupted. And then what I'd encourage you to do is to find yourself in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. So allow yourself to settle into the seat, and just when you feel ready and if you feel comfortable with it, either lower your gaze or allow your eyes to close. And as you allow your eyes to close, just start to focus your attention on your breathing and notice the sensation of your breath coming in and your breath coming out. You're not trying to do anything to change your breathing now. You're just paying mindful attention to the sensation and feeling of your breath coming in and your breath coming out. Now, as you do this, you may well find that thoughts and other things come into your head and other feelings pop up. Don't worry about that, it's only natural. All you need to do when you notice yourself distracted by a thought is just to notice it and bring your attention back to your breath at this moment in time. And now that you've allowed your attention to focus on your breath, I'd invite you to start to notice the feeling of your body as you sit. So notice the weight of your seat resting on the chair or wherever it is that you're sitting, the backs of your legs against the surface, perhaps your back of your body also leaning against something. And then move your attention down to the soles of your feet and notice the weight of your feet on the floor. And so allow yourself in this way to drop into your body and to feel yourself anchored and connected and really present right here, right now. And again, if thoughts pop in or other distractions occur, just draw your attention back to your body. There's nothing for you to do apart from be right here, right now. Forget everything that's come before and everything that's going to come after this, and just allow yourself to come into the present moment and into the sensation of your body, seated, weighted on a chair with your feet on the floor, right here, right now. And just allow yourself to be here in your body, in the present, for a couple more moments. And then gently, and as you're ready, start to focus your attention back on your breathing, noticing the sensation of your breath coming in and your breath coming out. And then start to bring your attention back to your surroundings. So start to perhaps notice anything that you can hear in the environment around you. Perhaps wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the room. So I hope that you're now feeling calmer and more centred and more grounded than before we started that exercise. This practice of mindfulness is a practice, and so the more you do it, the more benefits it will have. We're also going to be providing you with a list of some further resources and mindfulness techniques to reduce feelings of overwhelm and anxiety and build your resilience to cope during these turbulent times. Now, if you found this helpful, I've also made a series of videos which you will find on my YouTube channel, and I'll put up the details for this on the screen as we speak. Thank you again for everything that you're doing to keep our borough working and to look after all of us. Stay safe. Much love.